Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. Today, my friends, I'm going to be testing the GeForce GTX 750 Ti in Rust. This time around in 2021 because the game has received a ton of updates, of course, since the last time that I tested this GPU. And this one is a stock version of the card from point of view. And I am running an overclock over here of plus 150 MHz on the core clock, plus 300 MHz on the memory clock. It's not a big overclock, as you can see right here by the core clock. We will be able to see that in the game as well, but yeah, as this is a stock version, it might seem like a big OC. We're running, of course, the latest Nvidia drivers, 461.09. I'm running it with a Ryzen 9 5900X and 32 gigs of RAM. Of course, these are overkill specs for the 750 Ti, but we're only testing the GPU in this video, so we want to see what it's capable of. You should get pretty much the same FPS with something like a Ryzen 3 1200 and 16 gigs of RAM, so just for you to know what kind of specs you should pair with this GPU to achieve the same frames, let's get into it. Alright, let's go over the settings. We're playing with 90 FOV using the 1080p resolution for now. I'm also going to be testing other resolutions in this video. Check out the timestamps for more. And graphics quality are set to like, what, medium settings? I know that draw distance is pretty important for this game. Shader level also makes everything look pretty good. The graphics quality set to 3 because at 6 it just consumes way too much VRAM. It consumes like 6 gigabytes, I think. We only have 2, so I'll keep that on 3. And yeah, image effects, everything's turned off right here. Experimental, everything's turned off as well. So these are like, what, low to medium settings? I'm gonna call it that, you know? Okay, so I specifically aimed for these settings because I wanted a 60 FPS average experience at 1080p. And if that's what you want in Rust, yeah, you can definitely expect it with a GTX 750 Ti. Again, just remember to pair it with something like a Ryzen 3 1200, and in some forest areas like this one, which are pretty intensive, it's gonna drop into the 50s, but it's not really that big of a deal. I think Rust is completely playable with 40 plus FPS. If you manage an average of around 60 FPS, it's just a really good experience, okay? The game, it looks a little bit too bad, especially if you compare it to like high settings or ultra settings on the previous video that I made with the 5700 XT. Yeah, it doesn't look anything special, but I think you can still immerse yourself into this game with these graphics settings, and you can definitely still have fun with it, okay? So this is extremely good performance. I remember playing this game back in the days, like 6 years ago or so, with the GTX 760 and get about like 40 FPS on average with drops into the 20s. So this game has definitely come a long way in terms of optimization. Like, you can see the RAM utilization is not that high at 12 gigabytes. It used to be like at 16, sometimes even 20, 24 gigabytes for people that had more than 16 gigs. But here we do have 32 gigs, but as you can see, 16 is all you need in this game. 12 is cutting it very close, so I don't recommend you to get this game if you have 12 gigabytes of RAM. If you're wondering, the i5 4460 should also be capable of getting these FPS that we're getting right now. That's very comparable to the Ryzen 3 1200, and yeah, we're hovering around 60 FPS most of the time, which is a very, very amazing experience, especially for the 750 Ti. I wasn't really expecting these kinds of frames, to be honest, but yeah, it kind of impressed us in more demanding areas. Like this is not very demanding. I've been there. We get basically the same FPS as we're getting right now. Forests are more demanding than that, and there are other things that are demanding in the map, of course, but you know, it doesn't really change too much from what we've seen here so far. By the way, if you go into the menu, you know, your FPS are gonna drop into the 30s. That's why our 1% lows dropped there, as you could see. Not a big deal. Again, it's not game breaking, and it's still very, very good. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. 61 FPS average. Alright, so we're still at 1080p resolution, now utilizing what I'd call medium to high settings, I guess. As you can see, I changed the graphics quality to 5, our RAM utilization went up by a lot, so I don't really recommend this unless you have 16 gigs of RAM, and even then it's cutting it close right now. That's all because it consumes a ton of VRAM, and when you get out of VRAM, you start utilizing system RAM. I also touched these to 100. I think these are actually the default default settings of the game. When you first start it, it will come with these settings, except for this slider right here. And over here, I enabled ambient occlusion, which makes a big difference in visuals and sun shafts as well. And yeah, if you are looking for like a 30 FPS experience, I guess you can have it here in Rust with this card. I'm gonna start counting the frames once again. The game's looking way more beautiful, especially because of that ambient occlusion setting. It makes a big difference in this one. And let's just get back to that forest over there to see our 1% lows. If they stay above 30, I think this is still a viable option. As I told you, I played this game for a long time, like 150 or 160 hours with around 30 to 40 FPS most of the time, and drops into the 20s. So yeah, I think that if you're not really playing this game very competitively, I'm not even sure if people play Rust competitively, to be honest, but yeah, if you're just here chilling and looking at the graphics and stuff like that, you can still have a good experience around 30 FPS. And oh boy, okay, low 20s and mid 20s not very good. If you disable the ambient occlusion, it won't look as good, but it will give you like 5 to 10 more FPS, so keep that in mind. If you really want to stay above 30 at all times, disabling that setting will do it, but it won't look as good again. So yeah, most of the time though, outside of forest, you will be getting 30 plus FPS, even touching 40s at times. It's not really the greatest. I definitely will choose to play this game with the previous settings that we tested, but you know what? These visuals look really, really good for a survival game, and if you want to experience this, well, you can, kind of, here with the 750 Ti. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it now. 34 FPS average, 25 1% lows. It's tough, okay? But let's keep the same settings now and test it at 900p to see if it gets 30 plus. Okay, so 1600 by 900 resolution now. Everything else is still as we left it, okay? So medium to high settings. Maybe it's actually like closer to high than medium, but it's okay. Let's start counting those frames. And at 900p, I think it should not really drop from 30, actually, not 60. I wish it wasn't dropping from 60, but okay. Game still looks good. If you have a 1080p monitor, 900p doesn't look too bad, and I think it looks better than 1080p at low to medium settings that we tested previously, you know. I think this is now very playable and very enjoyable, and we're actually dying, so I need to go into the menu or the inventory and lower our 1% lows, but yep, I need to survive now, okay. Oh, I thought I could actually eat these. Eat everything. We got a potato as well. Nice, that actually regenerated a ton of our hunger bar right there, so this is great. All right, we're actually having 60 right now. That's really amazing, but of course that was like a one-off. Most of the time you can expect around 50 or 45 as our averages suggest. Low 40s, high 30s. You know what? Yeah, as long as it doesn't drop from 30, again, I think this is a very, very good experience. This game doesn't need quick reactions. It is more of a slow-paced game. It's a survival game, as you know. So yeah, this is really good, guys. 900p definitely puts the 750 Ti in very playable territory, especially if you don't want 60 FPS. If you do, well, you know that 1080p with low medium is pretty decent as well. Also, RAM utilization went down by a little bit there because it's not utilizing as much VRAM at 900p as it did at 1080p, so that's always welcomed if you only have 16 gigs. If you only have 16 gigs, oh boy. 16 gigabytes of RAM is absolutely all you need, by the way. You can mess around with that quality slider and the game will eat less VRAM and RAM as well. Yeah, I think that's been it right now. Can't really pick this one up. 47 FPS average, 1% lows of 35. It's good, guys. Alright, 900p with the low to medium-ish settings right now. I'm not touching these because people say that these are really important to the gameplay, and the shadow distance is not really as important, but it does make a difference in the immersiveness, I would say. So yeah, let's go. And Oh boy, yes, these are pretty good frames right now. It's definitely gonna be above 60 FPS most of the time at least. So start counting the frames here. Yep, this is good, guys. This is pretty damn good right now. Oh boy, it's really smooth. Our RAM is now at 12 gigs because it's not even maxing out our VRAM here at 1.5 gigabytes. So this is really nice, guys. Okay, the game doesn't look anywhere nearly as good as it did on the other settings, of course, but you know, this is the experience for those of you that want the higher FPS and you don't want any frame drops below 60 FPS. And if you're wondering, at 720p it's gonna be even better, of course. But if you have the 4th Gen i5 or Ryzen 3 1200 at 720p, you will be CPU bound. I'll still test it for a little bit here with the 5900X, but just be aware that you might not see GPU utilization at 99% with weaker CPUs. Some weaker CPUs, of course, not all. Still, this is really good. Even if I tab in, okay, it does drop into the 50s though, but yeah, this is just great, guys. It's a really nice experience. It just goes to show you that Rust has definitely been optimized since last year. I actually took a look at a few graphics cards of mine in early 2020, and now I'm taking a look again in this game in early 2021. And yeah, I think the differences are very, very noticeable, especially in terms of RAM and VRAM utilization. I remember seeing 8GB cards being maxed out at high or ultra settings in this game, and now it only consumes like 6GB, which is great. Oh boy, low 60s around here. Okay, low to mid 60s. Not too bad still. It doesn't drop from 60, but it's very close. I just started recording, but it didn't really start recording. It kind of crashed on me, but here we go again. This is 720p resolution right now with the low to medium settings once again. And I was saying that it's getting really good FPS. Like, look at this, 100 plus on average basically, and it's gonna drop into like the low 80s at times inside of very big and dense forest areas, you know, like this one. I'm gonna get back there once again so you can see. But I was saying that you can't really spot people at the distance, and that is a bigger disadvantage than getting like 100 FPS on average compared to 80 or whatever we were getting at 900p. So I think I wouldn't really lower the resolution from 900p to play this game if you want to get an advantage over other people. Of course, if you don't, if you just want the highest FPS possible, for example, you have a high refresh rate monitor, I guess this is very doable. This is fine. You can get used to it. Oh gosh, my internet. But as you can see with that horse over there, at times you can't even tell that that's a horse. So yeah, it's kind of hard to recommend 720p here just because it did a really good job at 900p low, and I think that's how I'd play the game if I wanted 60 plus FPS, not like this, okay? This is just way too low of a resolution, in my opinion, of course. There are people that play this game at 800 by 600 and are absolutely fine and can actually kill me. I can't even kill anybody, to be honest, in this one. So even a rock could probably kill me, and that has happened before. Oh boy, okay, we're fine. He shouldn't attack. Never mind, he is attacking me. God damn it. Why? Oh god. No. Okay. Oh, come on. Get out. Go away. Yes, thank you. You know what? Since this is 720p, I think I'm gonna use some anti-aliasing to make it look a little bit less pixelated. So this is it. I think these are the same settings as we used before. Not too sure because there are so many. But yeah, let's do this. Alright, look at this. It's actually looking pretty good, especially with the anti-aliasing enabled. So, wow, okay, let's start counting those frames. I think maybe at these settings, 720p, this might actually be a really good experience still. This actually lowers your FPS by a little bit as well. So we're getting 45 and 52. It's a big difference actually. It's very intensive fire in this game, it seems like. And yeah, if you turn this on, it drops from 40, it goes into the mid 30s. This is still extremely intensive. So if you really want to play with these settings, I think it's still playable here, but you know what? I'd probably play at 900p low because of this smooth. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, we're actually screwed now. All right. Oh yeah, just eat this. Goddamn bastard. No, 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 no. Oh, let me go to the water. Let me go. Oh my gosh. How am I not dead? He just stopped there. He's confused because of the rock I threw. You know what? Can I throw this as well? No, of course not. I can't aim with this. What should I do now? I should eat. Yes, potato. Very nice. I can't eat anything else. God damn it. All right. So, at least I'm not dying. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that was kind of bad. After playing for a few minutes at 60 plus FPS, I think it's not really that smooth here, but again, if you are looking for that visual fidelity experience, this is still very nice. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope this one was helpful to you guys that want to buy Rust, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.